wee, I love this set. Whew. Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. It's Topless Got Nails, and this is the set we're doing today, and I absolutely love it. It's bright, it's summer, it's loud, it's blingy, it's also nude, it's vertical ombre. Look, here's my thing, it's vertical ombre with the gel polish, right? And the stones are in a vertical, literally vertical ombre. You get it? It was so funny to me in my head and my love. We both laughed, okay? Anyways, art jokes. So first and foremost, don't forget to thumbs up, subscribe, ring the bell so you know when I upload it, because I'm going to upload more often now because I'm back taking clients. I'm not taking, one, new clients. Two, I'm not even taking all my old clients. I'm taking a few and serving up y'all content and just being super safe about it. I have been scared and annoyed, but you know, we're starting off slow. So let's talk about what my client has going on. First and foremost, to all y'all who think y'all are doctors in the comments, my client has hyperpigmentation on her nails. And there we go. So let's get that out the way. Move past that. So my client was the nail tech, and she was kind of maintaining her nails. Well, I won't say kind of, they're beautiful. She's maintaining them, okay? And she had rubber base gel from Gel Bottle Ink on her nails. She didn't build them up at all, but she put 2 coats. So I'm using a file to kind of take down the thickness of that rubber base gel. She actually applied it the day before. She had builder gel on it, took it off, and wanted to leave something on her nails so they'll kind of hold up. And she actually did. In that day, she broke 2 of them, kind of broke the tip off one and broke one down a little bit further, but they were okay. We went ahead and built them out. You'll see that later in the video. And yeah, so I'm just kind of taking down, and she prepped her nails really, really well. I do want to say that also. She preps them for me. And so at this point, like I said, I'm taking down, because she put 2 layers of that rubber base, taking that down a little bit so we don't get too bulky, because at this point I wasn't 100% what I wanted to do, but I know that I was probably going to do like a nude base gel. And so because she has that hyperpigmentation, I wanted to be able to build it up enough to cover that up. Okay, so I said she prepped her nails, and she did. So really mostly I'm going in just to get tight in that cuticle area, to remove shine and to add texture, to basically kind of etch the nail just that far back, because it's a 2-in-1 actually. I don't ever mention it, but when we're removing the cuticle from the nail plate with our skiver bit, because that's what this is, skiver bit from Atwood Industries, we're removing the dead skin, as mentioned, and we're also removing shine and adding texture way back there. So we ensure good adhesion all the way to almost the eponychium, the cuticle area, way back where we need it to be. I mean, we need it over the entirety of the nail, and we're ensuring it over the entirety of the nail. So now I've dusted those off, and I am using dehydrator to dehydrate the nail. It balances the pH of the nail, takes away any oils, and gets it prepped. And like I said, she has rubber base gel on them. There's still a thin layer. I filed it down a little bit, but you know, it doesn't hurt to dehydrate it all and get it, you know, on one accord, get us all on the same page. And so after I dehydrate it, I use a primer, and this primer it's not protein bond, but it's an acid-free primer. So if you want to substitute, you could use that. Then after the primer, I am using a base gel. This is not rubber base gel from the Gel Bottle Ink, but that's one that you could use in place of it. Again, I'm trying out various products. Once I ensure that they're quality, you will hear about them. In the meantime, I'll tell you established brands that are of quality that you can use in the meantime, in between times. So yeah, that's what you would use right then. So now I am going to take a clear builder gel and dish that out. And I'm going to mix up a custom nude nail bed color. Still at this point, not really sure what I wanted to do, but I know I can't go wrong with at least applying a beautiful nude color. So I'm taking, and you seen me mix it up in the Galaxy Ombre video. I just did the video before this. If you haven't seen it, check it out. And I'm using XOXO from Madam Glam, the SC158 from Presto, 102 from Presto, and a little bit of the Amore from Color Club. It's a sheer soft pink, and you'll see me add that in a second. And I mix that up, and I'm using just the back of the polygel brush, Of course, you can use I want to call it a spatula, and I guess that's one word for it, but y'all know what it's called, y'all know. So I'm mixing that up, and I don't want to stir it vigorously. I'm trying to keep air bubbles from getting into it. So I'm just smoothing that out, reincorporating it with itself, just to mix that color and get it fully mixed. Now, what you want to ensure that you do, if and when you do something like this, one, we want to make sure we have majority of it builder gel, because we want the integrity of the enhancement. We want it to be strong, and we want it to the majority of it to be made of builder gel. So keep that in mind, because gel polish is not made to build up a nail. So we're just adding that for pigment. We want to ensure that most of this product that we mix up, most of this custom mix, is builder gel. Okay, so we got that out the way. Secondly, you want to make sure that you mix enough, because I can worry about the future at another time, trying to, match it. But in this set, you want to make sure that you have enough of the color for all of the nails, because it may be a little difficult to match it again and time consuming. So mix as much as you know that you will need. If you're doing something like this, it doesn't even have to be this. If you're mixing, for whatever reason, a custom glitter color or something like that, make sure you mix enough, because you may not be able to match it exactly. And I'm talking like somebody who did that. I'm not saying I'm guilty of that. I'm just advising you. No, what really happened was I freaking almost had enough, except I have this bad habit, and I never tell y'all about it. But since the beginning of time of me doing nails, I, at some point, probably 80 to 90% of the time that I do nails, at some point I'll forget a thumb. In some point of the process, I may forget to, I always figure it out because it's just sitting over there. But at some point I'll forget it. I'll forget to polish it. I'll forget to apply builder on it. I'll forget to sculpt it out. I'll forget to apply a tip. At some point I'm going to forget about the thumb and to do something to it. So I did all this, and this is the thumb I'm doing now. I was like, phew, I got to the end, wiping my forehead. I barely had enough of this color to fit all of these nails. And then I'm getting ready to shape them. And then I realized that her thumb has nothing on it at all. So I had to mix up the color again, and I got it to match very well. You couldn't tell, but I could see where that would cause a pain if you didn't, especially depending if you run out in the middle and it's two nails. One, the thumb is on the other side of the hand, so it's not directly next to the other four fingers, so you can compare it visually very easily. So I just say that to make sure you have enough. Or maybe if it's a color that you mix and think is bomb, mix a lot of it. Or maybe hopefully a brand can get you a nice, beautiful nude for my ladies of color, right? Okay. So I am applying this builder gel, and I'm applying it in a thin layer first, which is going to be our slip layer. And we apply that thin layer and we polish it on like you would any polish. And then we don't cure it. And we take a bigger bead and basically float that in that slip layer. And that's what that is. So, or you can go ahead and cure it. See, this is what this is me, right? Hear me out. I was like, when I mix it, like, oh, I don't know if I have enough color. So I want to apply like the same amount to each nail. So if I don't have enough, at least they all 10 or 9 who look the same. So at some point in time, sometimes I'll apply a thin layer, if that makes sense. So we can all, like, if we're all going to be sheer, let's all be sheer. If we're all going to have high pigment, let's all have high pigment, right? So I, with this process, will apply it like, oh, let me apply like 2 thin layers or whatever first, and then let me evaluate how much of the product I have left. And this is only very specific to this scenario. And then, okay, so I have enough to build up that color intensity a little bit more, and then go ahead and do that. So that's why you see me kind of working a little bit differently. But all in all, it's generally the same. We apply a slip layer and a bigger bead to build it up. What I'll end up doing with this is getting that nude on there and then going in, because I know it has not been built enough, like a good apex and enough thickness. I'll go in with just a clear builder gel to build up the apex and the free edge. So that's what you see me doing. That's how my mind is working in my thought process with this. So I'm basically evenly distributing the nude across the nails, what I thought was all 10, and just to make sure they all are on the same page. And then whatever I need to build as far as the apex of the nail and etc., I will go ahead and do that with clear. All right. So for these 2 nails, her pointer and her middle finger, they needed to be extended out. So I'm using nail forms from Glitter Planet. I've had these for a while now, since she started that brand. It was a really great brand. I used to have a discount code with her, but I don't anymore. But still, it's great. I want to get some tips from her. Anyways, so I'm using the nail form and to go ahead and extend out the nail, obviously, right? And I'm going to take some clear builder gel. I applied the base gel and everything on her natural nail first. And I'm literally just using this clear to build out the tip, because I want to make sure I get my nude on there, because I still am not sure what I'm doing at this point in the process. So I want to make sure it's attached to her natural nail. So you see me applying it to the free edge of her natural nail up into those side walls. I want to make sure those are connected and make sure the length is there. So I flash cured it in the light and then pinched it a little bit and had her fully cure it. Then I'm doing the second nail the same way. This nail doesn't need to be built out as much. You'll see me, I compare it to the nail right next to it to see where on my form I need to sculpt it out to. And then I just bring it in. Again, I just want a thin little sculpt right now, so I can make sure that that nude gets on there in the opacity that I'm looking for. And then if it's too thin, which it is, I will build it up on top with clear. You know what I'm saying? So I just want a thin layer. And so I flash cured that for like 6 seconds, pinched it and put it back in the light. So I just want that thin layer. It's not even evened out. Okay. And there's a lot of exceptions. There's so many different things with nails, right? there's so many different things with everything. Anyways, so in most scenarios, I probably would have shaped this a little bit before I applied this builder gel. But here's the thing. I mixed this nude on this is just the practicality of it. I mixed the nude on a form that was stuck to my napkin on my desk, which was under my lamp. Okay, so I didn't want dust in it, and I didn't want to cover it up because I didn't want to be soaked up by a napkin. Like I said, it was just the practicality of it. So I said, forget it. And I just was going to apply it onto the little sculpted out piece and even it out as much as possible. And then I'll deal with it later on in the process. So that's what I did. Really, what you could have done with that little tip, you could have shaped it up a little bit, got it more even, and then went in and did this. As I was saying, I didn't want to get dust basically in my nude. That's really it. So I went ahead and applied that, and I didn't get the footage, but like I said, I applied clear builder gel over it just to build up the apex. It was basically the same process as y'all see me doing. I apply a slip layer, a little bit of a bigger bead, except that bead was more focused towards the apex, the center of the nail, and the free edge, especially with those two sculpted ones. They really need some strength towards the free edge. And then that was that. Cured it, wiped off the tacky layer. I went ahead and shaped them. I shaped them off camera. As I say, it's always hard for me to capture me shaping just the way my hands are, just the way I'd have to record it. I don't ever want to catch my client's face because who wants to be on camera, right? And yeah, and I don't want to take up any additional time with my clients trying to get the camera perfect and right. I'm already a slow nail tech as it is. I don't want to add any extra. So I always mention, I did in my last video, I always leave my phone mount on my desk in a position just ready for me to put my phone and record at any time. So, and the mount that I use is the Archon mount, and you can use code Tabitha if you want a discount. I hardly ever mention it, but I do have a discount code with them. It's Archon Mounts, ARKON. And it's a little pricey. The one I have is like $100. It's the desk clamp. But you can use code Tabitha for 20% off, and it's the most sturdy. It's like industrial, professional, not wobbly. It's what you need. If you're serious about recording your nail art or anything you want to do, if you make cookies, if you bake something, whatever you're trying to do, and you want to show it with a great high quality foam mount, Archon mounts. And I'll try to put it in the description bar down below. Anyways, you see me, let me catch up with what's really going on. I finished file the nail with a smooth top, fine grit bit. I believe I used a ceramic bit. I opened up some new ones. And I just used that, like I said, as fine grit, just to remove any bulk. Then I'm using this crosscut bit to go ahead and flush out the cuticle area. Not literally flush it out, but make it flush. And to add texture to the nail, it takes the place of a buffer so that we can ensure that our gel polish has something to adhere onto. Then I go ahead and refine the shape even more. Sometimes it can get a little wonky when you finish file. So I go ahead and take the a hand file, and just regain my shape. So these are the colors I'm using, and of course, for all the Madam Glam colors, you can use code Tabitha30 for a discount. There's a link down below as well. And I'm using the Lechat Perfect Match, Lechat, I don't know how to say it, the Luxa Velveteen Matte. As mentioned, these I use in the nude. I just want to show you guys the ones that I mixed in, but I missed the more from Color Club. And also I want to show y'all how my nails were holding up. They look good, right? Go watch that video. You want to see it. If you haven't seen it, go see it. So I'm using this color just to apply a thin layer back onto the nail, just to make sure it's nice and even, because during the whole time I told you guys I did not know what I was doing. It wasn't until like now that I had a plan in this process. And with my joke, it wasn't even a joke. I don't even know. It wasn't any joke. It was just wordplay. It was something, I don't even know. Whatever. Give me a thumbs down for saying it was a joke. No, actually, don't give me a thumbs down. Give me a thumbs up. And so I'm just applying a thin layer just to make sure it's even, because I wasn't very mindful when I was filing, and it got a little sheer around the cuticle area, and I just want to, like I said, make sure it was even. And honestly, depending on the client, I might not have needed to, but as mentioned, as you could see, she has that hyperpigmentation on her nail bed, and it was showing a little bit, and I just wanted to even that out for her. That's something that she always is mindful of, that she wants to be covered, is that hyperpigmentation. So I wanted to be respectful and considerate of that and get that covered for her. So that's really what it was. So I'm just taking the protein bond and applying it to the tips of the nail, the cuticle area. Mostly I'm focused on the cuticle area because when I apply my gel polish, at the cuticle area, I don't want it to move and separate from there. Not that it would, but it was just a step of security, if you will, for that. So I'm using these colors and going to vertical ombre. Now, I do have a video on this, and I have this video of me doing this before with some black trips. It's an amazing video. Check it out if you haven't. Just scroll back some or something. Maybe I'll be a good YouTuber and leave a little clicky linky thingy that you can click on. Anyways, so the trick to this, and to get it good, it's a multitude of things, and we'll walk through it. First and foremost, as you've seen, I applied the color to each side of the nail. I kind of don't like to apply it like literally even, because we're looking to mix those colors, right? So we want for blue and green to mix and to make another color in the middle, turquoise, if you will. So you want to, this nail was giving me a little problem because it kept on getting in the sidewalls, but we cleaned it up. Anyways, so you want to apply one color. You don't want to apply it too thick, too wet, because you don't want it to be runny. And then you want to apply the color next to it. And you want to apply it on its side first. Get that color, that straight up yellow on there. And then towards the middle of the nail, you want to wipe the brushes off. And I don't show it, but every time I'm moving off the screen, I am wiping those brushes off. No, right now I'm not, because I'm trying to get that pigment on there. But you see that yellow brush is wiped off because I want to mix them. I don't want to distribute more product on there. So the first layer, we want to get right, but we're not too pressed on getting it 100% perfect. It's our base. It matters. It does. But it can kind of help the blend. You can kind of push the blend over like to the left a little bit more, and then when you do your second layer, do it to the right, and it can kind of enhance the blend and make it look a little better, because just by nature, depending on the gel polish, you might see through that second layer, and it will, like if you blend it, if you have your blend to the left and you do the other one more towards the middle or towards the right, you're showing a blend under a blend, and it's a blend. Just how many times can you say blend? I hope that makes sense, y'all. I gotta pull out like a drawing board and everything. So just like I said, it matters. It doesn't need to be 100% perfect, but it's a base for future things to come. And also, depending on the colors, you might need to do 2 coats or 3 coats. That yellow from Le Chat, it's not my favorite at all. Le Chat, however you want to say it. I'm going to say Le Chat until y'all correct me and say it's otherwise, and you know that to be true. So I, with that yellow, I only use that yellow because it match. These colors are used because they match with the Swarovski Electric Delights. That's very specifically what these specific colors were pulled for, if I can speak. So it wasn't like she wanted these colors and we picked the stones. It was vice versa. We went ahead and decided we wanted to use the Electric Delights. What colors go with that? So we spent a good minute in time. I say we, it was me, but you know, it's participation. And I went through all my gel colors and got the colors that matched most perfectly with each color delight. And it just so happened, I tried to avoid it, but the Le Chat, that yellow color that I pulled that you guys seen, it was the one that matched the yellow Electric Delight the best. So that's what we ended up with. It's a very difficult color to work with because it's kind of like a polish that's a hybrid of a traditional nail polish and a gel nail polish. Like, it almost air dries in a way. It'll thicken up, and that's weird. It makes it difficult to work with, especially and very specifically for this process. So I said all that to say, with the colors that include the yellow, I had to do like 3 coats on them to get it right. Anyways, so we do our first layer of ombre, cure that in the light. Then we go in with our second, and for certain nails who are difficult, we have to go in for a third. So you see I'm applying my yellow. I'm applying one color straight up, getting it polished as perfect as I can, which may be a little difficult sometimes. And then I go in with the second color and get that polished and together. And then we go in and blend that color. And I'll wipe the brush off. I honestly should have fully applied the orange and then focused on mixing. But this color just frazzled me. I couldn't. Just brought a different person out of me, okay? I wasn't following the rules. I didn't care. I was a rebel. And so I'm using that yellow. And you can see it kind of thickens up. I'm telling you, air dry. It also smells like traditional polish in a way. I literally think they took like regular polish and like mixed like a gel base in it. Not that that's not how I don't know how regular gel polish is made, but I'm feeling like that's what they did, and that's not how most people do it. I'm not talking bad about them. They make some really great colors. I'm just really peeved about how it works in this process, okay? So that's me. And I wipe that brush off when I get ready to mix the colors. I take that drier brush and I'm able to blend it better. And then this was a lengthy process. Of course, I sped it up and edited it down to be able to be consumed much easier. But I'll go back in with both brushes generally. So I'll take the yellow brush, apply the color, wipe it off, and blend it with the orange, and then vice versa. I'll apply the orange, wipe that brush off, and where there's barely any product at all, and then mix those colors with it. My tip, this is going to take practice and time, but my tip is to start with short strokes. As you can see, there's a whole bunch of little short strokes I use because I'm literally trying to mix those colors. Like literally trying to mix them in the middle of the nail. So this ain't extreme per se, but if you're mixing, if you're doing an ombre of red and blue, you would sit there trying to make purple in the middle, okay? So what I'm trying to do is make a orange yellow or yellow orange in the center of the nail, like literally mix those two colors to get a third color. And so I'm using a whole bunch of little strokes, basically in a way like stirring it, but not literally, just to mix those together. And then I'll use long strokes to make sure it's evened out. So a whole bunch of little strokes just to blend, mix, kind of move a little bit from left to right just to bring more yellow to orange, orange to yellow, then long stroke to even it out. So I cured that. I wiped off the tacky layer with my other hand, and I'm taking some of that milk bath from Daily Charm. You can use code Tabitha and the number 10. I'll always say that. And I'm using and I'm mixing it with some clear no wipe top coat. Okay, this is where we're at. And so it makes your sheer weight even more sheer. And we're going to apply that over our vertical ombre. Okay, and you're like, what? Why? Boom. So, and I'm concentrating this more so where our blend is, in the center of the nail. And we do this, and this will help kind of frost up and camouflage our blend just to make it look more blended. Right? Okay, that's my tip. Don't say I never helped you. And it's a very subtle thing, but do it. It helps. So that white's already it's already a sheer white milk bath, which I think is an important color to have in your collection. And then we mix it with white just to make it a bit more sheer, and it just helps that blend. And so we're there. Boom. Well, actually, we're way past there in the video. We started adding bling. So here we are with bling. I didn't know exactly what I wanted to do. Again, our goal was to match the electric delights with the colors. As you can see, they match pretty well. And so each nail of this vertical ombre is going to have both colors that are on that nail. So on this nail, it's going to have purple, the violet delight, the pink delight, and then it's going to keep going. And at first, you seen I was looking between Silk Shimmer and Crystal AB. We knew we wanted gold. We established that way back when I didn't know we were doing it all. We was like, okay, gold's going to be our metal color for our beads or whatever. So we knew that. And so I just wasn't feeling Crystal AB. My client lifted up to me, and I just wasn't feeling it with this. Would it have been ugly? No. But it just didn't feel right. I just like the warm tone with all the bright that was going on. But again, I don't think it would have been ugly per se. So right now what I'm doing, I'm applying my crystal gel. And you want to make sure you sink your stones into that gel. You don't want to put it on top of the stone, but you really want to go up on the lip of the stones to make sure it's fully held in. So right now, I don't have a plan. I'm not looking at a reference picture. I'm literally just making this up in my head, trying to see what looks good. I'm prepared at any moment to wipe this all away and start over from scratch. I'm just playing around with it. Because my client, she wanted extra. She wanted bling. She wanted bright. So we're taking it there. So you see, when you apply crystal gel, you really want to excess, but I got a little too excessive with the excess. But again, because we don't want it to ever get on top of the stone and to ruin our sparkle, but we really want to sink those edges into the crystal gel in order for it to, you want it to physically hold the stone. It doesn't hold it chemically because the gel does not cure under the stone to chemically hold it, if that makes sense. So we literally want it to grasp around the edges, want it to hold it with its gel hand and grasp onto it. So that's what you need to do. That's my tip. Some people are like, oh, crystal gel doesn't work for me. It's all, I mean, some products may not be good, okay? But it's all an application as well, and it's very, you really have to use it that way to sink it in, sink the crystals into that gel. So, and then you can get it on your beads, on your metal charms. By all means, do it, unless it's something that you want to sparkle. Don't ever put it on something you want to literally sparkle and catch a light. So I am taking a brush and feathering out the edge. So you don't want a line of demarcation of that gel. You don't want to be able to see where it stops. You want to feather it out, blend it out, so it's not very obvious where the gel is. And then I don't show you, but I flash cure it. Once I get it right, I flash cure it in the light. Then I go ahead and put it in the light for a full cure. Then you can go ahead and seal over around your stones and over it with no wipe top coat. I didn't show that. I apologize if this became a lengthy process. There were some things I missed. I'm so sorry. But we decided to go in and matte this out. That way the bling could really stand out. Just matte with bling is amazing. And I do want to advise all my nail techs out there to charge more for crystal work with matte. If you're doing crystals on top of matte or with matte on the same nail, please charge more for it. It's more labor intensive. It really is. You have to be more strategic, more careful. It takes more time to make sure they're adhered well. They don't catch on the hair. You really need to seal them in. You need to go around them. You need to be careful. You need to be patient, kind, tenacious, and charge more, okay? At least charge more. So I'm going in, and my thought was I'm going to do these crystals down the center of the nail. Then I put the big ones. I didn't think the small ones would work. I had a mixed pack also, and I didn't think I had enough small ones of the Crystal Delights. I got them from Blue Street Crystals. Please, please, please check out Blue Street Crystals and use code Tabitha5. It's a discount code for you guys. I don't get commission from that or anything. And all the time, goes without saying, I'm not ever suggesting anything to you guys that I don't literally enjoy myself. So anyways, bluestreetcrystals.com. Yeah. So I was going to do them all vertically down the nail, just like increase the size. But they didn't fit. Like I said, I don't think I had enough small ones because of the mixed pack I got. I didn't think I would have enough to do all the nails. So basically I'm making this part up. I'm just winging it. You seen, I picked those off with the tweezers, moved them to the other nail because I was going to use the bigger ones on the middle nail because it was longer, a little bit longer, and do like little ones on the ring finger like I did on the pinky, which I didn't show. But when I moved half of them over on one nail and left the other half on the other nail, I really liked how it looked to have it broken up, to have purple, pink, orange on one nail and yellow, green, blue on the other. So I just kind of went with that and see how I felt about it. You can see kind of how my mind's working. I'm replacing the stones. I'm like, okay, so that one's too big. I want a smaller one. Okay, that's too big. I want that to be smaller. And I wanted them to kind of, the ring finger in the middle to be in a way opposites, but they're kind of not really, for the pattern to start at the top towards the cuticle area of one and the pattern to continue on the other one. But, you know, I don't know. Art was happening. I was feeling it. I didn't know. I was just going with it and seeing what would happen. And I really like how it turned out. And like I said, the intention was to do a straight line, you know, but it turned into that. So after I did that, I just sealed it in with no wipe top coat, and that was it. And this is our final look, guys. I really love it. Okay, so I know you do too, so you should thumbs up and subscribe for more videos. And leave a comment, leave like a little rainbow emoji. It is Pride Month. We're celebrating everybody that's doing good things, everybody who loves everybody and anything, and everybody's love. And we're just doing that, okay? It's Pride Month. Everybody should have love. And we love these nails, and we love each other, and we love that we're moving through this pandemic, and hopefully we're not going to have a 4th or 5th wave. Y'all keep it cool out there. And yeah, thank you for watching. Don't forget to subscribe. Bye.